Okay guys, there's the first coat of Bondo. As you can see, I worked her nice and smooth. What I did was I wiped this edge first, and then I smoothed it out, and then I wiped whatever I wanted to here, and then I smoothed this out, and then when I had that high ridge, I smoothed the top out, smoothed that out again, and I try to get my little ridge from my body line in my Bondo before I even start sanding it. That way it's in there, and I don't know, I just keep working with the Bondo as long as I can to try to get it as flat as I can. That way it's easy sanding. You guys know what I use, but for those of you who don't, I'm a 3M Platinum Plus kind of guy. I like using that. Today I decided to use red hardener just for the hell of it. So I got orange filler instead of fucking what, green. So yeah, just sitting around waiting for that to dry. Ain't taking very long at all. It's pretty well set right now. It is let's see, it is a little bit over 80 in the garage right now. Outside, you don't even want to know. Still 100, and that's in the shade. The sun just got off of the thermometer, so that's actually in the shade now. So it's about 100, which you guys in Canada and whatnot, what is that? It's 37, 38. It's pretty fucking hot. But I sneezed. I don't know, I thought I was gonna sneeze there, but I didn't. So I'm waiting for my Bondo to dry. You can see I just got my air gun shoving that bumper out away from the thing. But I went over the bumper there on top of all those scratches and shit with 400 and got her smoothed out and nice. I'll probably throw a light coat of primer on it to fill in any little stone chips and any little minor scratches that are left. But waiting for that bumper to, or that fender to dry. So I'm gonna come back here to this. What I'm probably gonna do here is I'm gonna take my 90-degree grinder with a Roll-Lock 50 grit disc on it, and I'm gonna grind this out about a 1/2 inch wide. I'm gonna V this out, and I think I'm gonna put my new Mac plastic welder to the test and see how it goes. Fill that in with some plastic, get her almost level, and then I'll probably just throw a little coat of glaze over top of it. I mean, this vehicle is so full of scratches, guys. I can't even tell you. Most of them aren't even going to pick up in the camera because this thing's covered in dust, but I mean, it's just loaded with scratches and dings and scrapes. So they're just going to wreck it again. So I'm probably just going to, I think this is the 3rd time we're fixing this. First time I'm fixing it on camera. But I'm just going to I'm going to fill it the best I can with my plastic welder. And if it gets a 32nd of an inch of fucking glaze over top of it, that's what it's getting. They're probably just going to back into something again. It's what they do, you know? When you go out and you drink all the time, you're gonna scuff some shit on your way home. But yeah, so I don't know, I'll turn you guys back on in a bit. I'm gonna take my Roll-Lock disc and grind that out, and I'll show you afterwards. But later, guys. So I sanded my first coat of Bondo there. I got her done. Had a little high spot here that I tapped down. I got a few little low spots on the front end of this body line here. But not looking bad. I got that body line sanded in. Now see, I got a hard line here. I got sanded into a point. Now I'll leave it like that until I get absolutely done with my Bondo. Once all this is all filled in and it's all flat the way I want it, then I'll knock this line down. A lot of guys will start sanding that line now and then fill here, and then the line gets a little fucking in there, you know what I mean? So I like to leave my whole line in there And I like to get her nice and straight for the most part, because this is a really round line. So it doesn't have to be perfect straight, but it should be pretty damn close. That way when you sand this, you just knock the edge down. And the other thing you do when you knock this edge down and get it round like that, is I never go and hit that with 80 grit, because an edge will sand down fast as shit. So I'll probably use 180. You could probably even do 220 if you really wanted to, but I'm going to do 180 when I knock this edge down, because 180 will put a lot of deep scratches in there, and it'll cut it down too quick sometimes. So yeah, I'll hit it with 180. But I'm sanding this with my long block. It's the size of the repair area, so I want to make sure my repair area is nice and flat. I have my little block out here just in case I needed it, but I haven't used it yet, so I probably won't either. But I'm going to throw my second coat of mud up in this little corner here, and I'll sand that, and it'll probably be ready for glaze. So yep, you'll see her when she's on there. Okay guys, I got my second coat of Bondo on, and I got my line nice and rounded over, looking good and straight. It feels good when compared to the other body line that's there. Come around to the back. I forgot to turn you guys on, but there's just some dust in there now. But I V'd that out there with my 90-degree grinder with the roll lock disc on her. And I got my plastic welder out, and yeah, that thing worked fucking beautiful. I love it. But I got that nice and pretty smooth there and welded together. So what I'm going to do now is I'm getting my glaze ready, and I'm going to put a tight lick on there and a nice tight wipe up here on my bodywork to fill in the sand scratches and whatnot before I get in the primer. So she's looking pretty good. I really am happy with that body line, how it came out in there. And yeah, so I'll turn you guys back on after I get glaze on and get her sanded. Here's something real interesting real quick. I gotta take this headlight out because I'm getting too close here, and I'm not taping that, so I'm taking the headlight out. I figured, Mr. Greg Porter, if your wife has one of these and you're ever curious how this front grille and headlight assembly comes out, for the headlight you have a 10mm there, a 10mm right here underneath the grille. So you got to take off the plastic, these plastic pieces here. These have little clips that go in there, and these come off. And then there's little clips up here for the grill. And believe it or not, as much as I didn't want to do it, the rest of this grill is held in. It's hard to see. See if you guys can even make out what the hell I'm trying to show you. It's really hard to see in the camera. Right there at the end of my finger, there's just like a plastic clip. Let's see if I can get another one. Right here. See how it's just a plastic clip sticking up out? They go in these square holes. Like that square hole. They just stick in there, so you take out those few clips on the top and you give it a gentle yank, I guess, and all these plastic clips are supposed to come out. But just to take the headlight out, see, all I'm doing is loosening up this corner, because I'm not trying to break any of the clips that are in there. So there's a 10mm here, a 10mm underneath in here. I already showed you. Where's my finger? Whoop, right there. And then there's one here behind the bumper cover, right there. So you take those three 10mm out, and I'll show you when I get them out. Okay, so It's a little bit more involved than I thought. As you can see, the front grill's off. So you got to take all those clips and push them with your finger from behind. I'll show you. These kind of suck. I don't think I broke any, so that's good. But the whole grill has to come off. That's for sure. But you see these clips? If you work in a body shop, you know these clips. They're just little pieces of brittle plastic, and they have a little ear on them. They're right here. Oh man, this is so hard to do. Little ear on them right here that sticks up, and when you slide it in, it clicks. So if you get your finger behind there and push down on them as you're pulling out, you can manage to get them all out without being broke. And then that pops out all one piece, and there's a bolt. Where is it? I lost it now. Because this little filler piece goes in here. This little filler piece goes in here. There's a bolt right there. There's a bolt. Well, this bolt we already took out, and then it's clipped in there, and it's also, you see that little tit goes in that little rubber grommet hole. And this is the front filler piece that goes in there like that. And you pop that out after you get the grill out, and then down underneath this bumper cover, it helps I guess if you have the whole front bumper cover off too. But way down back in there, see that little hole peek in there? There is a bolt that goes right at the end of my finger underneath this light, right there. And then, I'm not taking this front bumper cover off, but then you finagle this light, see how it's all loose, out to get it out after this bumper cover's off. But I'm not taking the whole bumper cover off. So I got the light loose enough to where I can mask, see my fingers fit all up in there, to where I can mask that all out. So that's how it's staying. All that work just to get the light loose. But if you really want to get that headlight out, you got to take off those two plastic pieces, the front grill, this little filler piece, and the whole front bumper cover, or at least take out the clips to hold the top of this bumper cover, and there's a couple more screws under there. That way you can pull this whole corner out more, and then you have room to take that headlight out. And of course then you'd have to unplug the headlight. But yeah, the new cars ain't nothing like the old cars. You gotta go through a lot of shit to get stupid shit off. Like headlights, you should be able to just take your headlight off if you want to, but no. You gotta disassemble the whole front end of the car just to get your goddamn headlights off. So, anyway, Greg Porter, I don't know if that helps you, but if you ever have to take the headlight out of your wife's car, you gotta take the whole front end apart, buddy. But I got this ready here. This is final, ready to go, ready, good for primer. She feels good, she looks good. I think I got that arch in there pretty decent. And I got the rear ready here for primer also. Area is a little bit bigger than I thought it would be, but she's nice and flat, really nice and flat, and ready for primer also. So I gotta get and wipe this stuff down with some wax and grease remover. My 330, that's so expensive I'm never gonna buy it again once I'm out of it. But yeah, give her a good wipe down with wax and grease remover, mask her out, and then I don't have any rollers left, or else I'd be rolling the shit because I like to roll it. But I'm gonna be mixing up my 2K primer here, my 202. Sorry for that shaky cam. Holy shit, I dropped you. But yeah, I'm gonna mix up my shit there and pack her in my Harbor Freight gun and get her sprayed up. So I guess I'll turn you guys back on after I get her masked, and I'll probably spray the primer and then turn you guys on. So okay guys, here it is. I got it in primer. There's always a couple things I do that I always say I shouldn't do and I do anyway. I always try to back tape so I get a soft edge, but I always end up spraying out to the end of the paper. I always end up getting a hard edge, which makes me have to block that edge down before I paint it. But and the other thing I do, like Mr. Tommy's shoe, I can never wait to rip the masking off. I always just gank it off as soon as I'm done spraying. But as far as straight goes, pretty damn fucking straight. I just gotta block down my primer after it dries sometime tomorrow. And yeah, she's pretty straight. I got the curve looking halfway decent. Still a little bit of blocking I could probably do when I block my primer tomorrow to crisp it up just a little bit. It's a little fat. It's a little fat right there. You know, a little too round. But it's a little too round up here, and here. So I'll probably touch those areas tomorrow. This one I'll probably have to put a touch of glaze on. This one I think I can just block out. But you know, when you're dealing with an arch like this, it's really hard to see that line there as you're doing it. It's one of those things you just gotta wait until you get primer on it, or I guess you could spray balm on it. That way you could just see what it looks like and then block it off as you're blocking your filler. But I got her all primed up. I'm gonna touch up those lines right there tomorrow and make her look 100% awesome. And then yeah, I think we're gonna paint it probably Thursday evening. So yeah, we'll see how she goes. I got her in primer and I'm done going in the house. So later guys, talk to you later.